When Sarah and her husband Daniel moved into the old farmhouse outside of Millfield, it was supposed to be a fresh start. The property was massive, cheap, and eerily quiet, too quiet for somewhere so close to the woods. The locals barely made eye contact when she mentioned the house. Some even crossed themselves, murmuring something about that attic. Sarah thought it was just superstition. It was before she heard the crying. It started on their third night, soft, muffled sobbing like a child's coming from above the bedroom. Daniel chalked it up to the wind. "Old beams creak," he said, annoyed. But Sarah knew what she heard. The sound was too rhythmic, too human. The attic had been nailed shut from the outside. They hadn't even opened it yet, but the crying continued. The next day, Sarah found an old crowbar in the shed. Daniel was away in town, so she decided to investigate. The attic door resisted her like it didn't want to be opened, but she pried the boards loose, one by one. The wood groaned like it was screaming. Dust poured down. Finally, the hatch opened. The attic was bigger than she expected, covered in cobwebs, moldy boxes, and broken furniture, but no sign of a child. Yet the air was thick and heavy, like she had stepped underwater, and she saw it. A small wooden rocking horse in the corner, gently rocking on its own. A chill ran down her spine. She backed out slowly, sealed the door again, and told herself it was just air pressure, or maybe mice. That night the crying turned into laughing, high-pitched, giggly, mocking. Daniel finally agreed to check it with her. Together they climbed into the attic with flashlights. The moment their feet hit the floorboards, the temperature dropped. Sarah's breath fogged in front of her. Daniel scanned the room while Sarah examined an old trunk in the corner. Inside were tiny clothesboys, clothes neatly folded and covered in dust. On top, a photograph. A black and white picture of a small boy with hollow eyes. The back read, Eli, 1956. "What the hell is this?" Daniel muttered. He turned, and his flashlight flickered. Then it died. Sarah's light was still on, but just barely. The air grew even colder. Then, in the far corner, a whisper. "Mama." Sarah froze. The rocking horse started again, slowly creaking. "Who's there?" Daniel called out. Nothing, until a small figure stood up behind the horse. It was the boy. Pale skin, sunken cheeks, black empty eyes. He grinned, his teeth like tiny needles. "You're not my mommy," he said. Sarah screamed, dropping her light. Daniel grabbed her arm and they bolted down the attic stairs, slamming the door behind them. They tried to leave the house, but the front door wouldn't budge. None of the windows opened. They were trapped. That night, the boy appeared at the foot of their bed. Daniel swung at him with a bat. The boy vanished, only to reappear in the mirror, staring, grinning. Sarah covered every mirror in the house, but the reflections didn't stop. In the TV screen, in the water, in her own eyes. He was always there, watching, whispering. Daniel changed. Became cold, quiet, unresponsive. One night, she found him staring up at the attic hatch, lips moving silently. She shook him, and he just said, "He says you're bad. He says you're not the real one." Sarah locked herself in the guest room and cried. The house groaned around her, the air buzzed. Then, silence. When she finally emerged the next morning, Daniel was gone. The attic door stood open. Inside, she found the rocking horse still. The boy was sitting on the floor, holding Daniel's watch. "Want to play now?" "No," she whispered. "I want you to leave, but I live here." He smiled, "And now?" "So do you." The floorboards cracked beneath her. Something grabbed her ankle. She screamed and thrashed, but it pulled her toward the trunk. As she was dragged across the attic, she saw dozens of photos spilling out from under the lid. All different people. All different years. All labeled roommates. The last thing she saw before the trunk slammed shut was the boy's face. Not grinning anymore. Just blank. Outside the house, everything was still. Peaceful. Silent. 2 weeks later, a new couple drove by and noticed the for sale sign out front. "That place looks perfect," one of them said. "I heard it has an attic," the other replied. "Great for storage." And above them, in the dusty attic window, the boy watched. Waiting.